G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to kick off talking about this new region transfer situation that's going on, how we could see pro players like Reet potentially playing on NA East and EU for the Grand Royale. It's seeming pretty crazy. Some of the pros really aren't happy about it, qualifying on a different region and then transferring to play the finals on their region. But as far as storylines go, I mean, I know you would. I would love to see someone like Reet go from West and play on East, or even some of the East guys go and play on EU for that insane $600,000 first place. It's got me excited. I want to talk about how it's going to work. Also, I want to talk about the huge nerf that the heal off strat just got. So the Storm healing strat, the Cray strat, the Orchard strat, whatever you want to call it, sitting in Storm and healing for the entire game, it has now officially been vaulted. It will no longer work, and I want to talk about why that is. And at the end of today's video, I want to share some very exciting news that's going on with the Fortnite competitive team, especially at Epic, and why I think things are about to see a huge improvement. So it's a lot to talk about. Let's just jump into it. Now, why am I getting so excited about this region transferring and pros like Reet going and playing tournaments on other regions when it comes to FNCS? Now, I got to also include, not everyone is excited about this like I am. There's a lot of pros who are quite upset, and I'll cover both sides of the situation. But this all started when Boop tweeted out, there's no way they're actually allowing region swaps. Literally, Reet should just switch from NA West to NA East or EU at that point for the prize pool difference. And it's a screenshot of a message between a pro player and an Epic Games employee where they're asking if they can swap from EU to Middle East, or from Middle East to EU, sorry, because this player has recently moved from Middle East to EU. And you see the Epic Games staff member respond about, hey, I'll process this request for you to change from Middle East to Europe. We'll be processing these requests the week of the Grand Royale qualifier event. If you don't have access to your preferred region event by the 11th of November, then please open a support ticket, yada, yada, yada. But basically what this means is you can play on a different region for Grand Royale. So if you made a round 4 final lobby in any of the previous 3 seasons or 4 seasons, including this one, you qualify for Grand Royale. But 4 seasons is a long time. A lot of people will have moved regions. There's heaps of players who have moved from from Middle East to EU recently. We've seen Asia players like Force go and play on EU. They can't go back home to play in Grand Royale, so why should they miss out? So they are going to be allowed to transfer to their other region. Makes sense, right? But where's the line on this? How are you going to decide who can transfer and who can't? Like Boop said, what's stopping Reet from now being like, wait, I don't want to play on NA West for that tiny prize pool. I'm going to just move across to NA East for 2 weeks, get a zero ping boot camp going, and I'm going to clean up on East. Like, I don't know where the definition of players moving regions is going to be. Maybe they have to have played at least the most recent FNCS on their region of choice. That could be a good way Epic could do this, but it opens up the potential and the possibility of seeing a lot of teams swap regions. And now the pros, rightfully so, are upset by this because they think if you qualify on an easier region like Middle East, that shouldn't then get you qualified into EU. But I would argue you still have to go through the qualification process. There is going to be a lot of qualifiers. I've already talked about them recently in a video. You're going to have days and days of qualifiers, reboot rounds, finals. So it's not like they're just getting invited straight into the finals and taking all the money. If they're not a good player and they don't deserve to make the Grand Royale finals, then they won't make the Grand Royale finals. But teams like, let's say, Reet, I keep using that example, he could be more than good enough to make NA East finals. And if he moves from West to East, which, you know, isn't that hard, don't need a new visa, just need to travel to somewhere with zero ping for 2 weeks, play, and he could win hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, it would be interesting for the storylines. As someone who isn't a player, someone who spectates and makes content on the fun of watching the games, I'm all for it. But if I was a pro, I would understand why that's frustrating that players qualifying in other regions are having a chance to come and take your qualifying spot for your finals with your prize pool, because I have to imagine the prize pool was distributed based on how many people are playing FNCS, for the same reason why OCE gets next to no money and EU gets so much. If all of a sudden there's 50 people who qualified in Middle East coming and playing on EU, should they get even more prize pool then? Because it's now getting even more competitive and it's more difficult and people are taking up more spots. So I see both sides of this, but either way, we haven't got an official statement from Epic, but that is a response from an Epic team member. So hopefully we can get some kind of communication on this, because this would be a big deal. How I can imagine it going is allowing players to transfer regions if they've really actually moved, like players like we're talking about in this situation, like Force moving from Asia to Europe. When they've actually moved continents or moved locations, it's pretty hard to tell them to go back back to a home that they don't live in anymore to go play on another region. But maybe they'll draw the line with players just trying to boot camp at another region to play the finals. Or maybe Epic, like me, just wants the spectacle. Maybe they like the idea that Reek could be playing on NA East because it'll make it more exciting. Maybe Centered, Stretch, and Commandment go to EU to try to get a chance at the $200,000 each first place prize, like $600,000 for EU. You could see NA East pros go to EU and just go big for the prize money. I don't know how I stand. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you for it? Are you against it? How do you feel? Because I can see it both ways. Moving on to a topic you guys may love or hate, we have the Cray strat, the Storm Healing strat, the whatever you want to call it, the Orchard Heal strat. It is now gone from the game. We've been talking about this for a while now. It started off as pretty funny, you know, Cray doing the fishing strat, qualifying for finals, a lot of people getting behind it, like, you know, the casuals and memes beat the sweats, and, you know, I got behind it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was interesting. I thought especially, you know, coming up with this strategy and implementing it in such a skillful way was really impressive and deserved, you know, something, whether it be, you know, some prize money here and there, but it's just gone on too long for me, in my opinion. There's a lot of people who've lost a lot of money now, lost qualification spots to teams doing this strategy, despite the fact that it will not work in a finals. Like, that's the thing that really gets me. Not only is it a strategy that you can't technically counter as a player, which to me makes it inherently uncompetitive. The player who is about to win the game can't teleport to Orchard and kill the guy, and they can't change their drop spot to rotate through Orchard to make sure someone's not doing it. Like, it's just not really fair or competitive. But also, it has now taken qualification spots from teams in the finals, and then the team hasn't been able to do it because when Surge is too high, they can't heal off through Storm, and they die anyway. So it just seems kind of pointless. A lot of people wanting it to get nerfed, and it has. We had Epic tweeting out the change that we've increased the cost to relight a campfire from 200 to 600 wood in tournament playlists only. And this is a pretty perfect fix. This is what we were looking for. Something that would nerf the Storm heal fishing strat, but it would not nerf the actual game. Like, if you made floppers heal less, or small fries, or cabbages, it could affect the actual game. But relighting a campfire in a tournament or competitive playlist is something you almost never do. Like, it's very, very rare to relight a campfire. You'll go to a campfire, you'll use it, you'll stoke it a few times, but very rarely will it go out and then you relight it and stay there. Like, at that point, you're probably dead or you really messed up. And in case you couldn't figure it out, you don't have 600 wood in competitive playlists. Between you do. You have 1,500 mats combined, but it's still enough to nerf this strat. There's no way they'll be able to collect enough food, get enough white heals and shield on top of the campfire, and get enough wood to relight the campfire multiple times. So this has effectively completely ruined the heal off strat unless there's another way to do it, which I know, again, some of you guys might be sad about, but I think it's kind of run its course. It was fun for a little while. The meme was there, but it really is bringing down the competitiveness of the game. But something else I wanted to talk about is they did it in tournament playlists only, which means Epic does have the ability to, and I think the first time, or one of the first times we've ever seen them do something in competitive that wasn't done in arena. Remember, I've been talking a lot in the past about how I want the game to feel different from pubs, arena, and tournaments. Either make arena competitive, so leave it as the tournament loot pool, or if you're not going to give incentives and make the game actually feel competitive because arena's not competitive, then make it fun. And we could now see that. We could see pubs having a fun loot pool, but no siphon, no map farming, no points, just mess around, have a good time. Then we could have arena that has some of the fun items, and you could actually enjoy yourself in arena again, have siphon, have faster map farming. Then you could have tournaments that have the more tournament strict loot pool. I've talked about this a few times, but this is the first time Epic has really divided arena from tournaments. Restoking campfires in arena is now exactly the same, but it's different in tournaments. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but it's interesting to see that Epic might be agreeing with the idea of making arena and tournaments different. Now, I've been getting really excited about the direction of Epic Games and Fortnite recently. I've been saying that the development is just improving. Whether you like the decisions Epic's making or not, they're putting in more effort than they have recently, especially into competitive. And that's taking another step forward as we have a tweet from Stevie. Here's someone who works at Epic Games in the Fortnite competitive team. I'm going to block out his name and his handle. I know he made this tweet publicly, but I know a lot of you guys will see this and think he works at Epic, and you'll start DMing him to unban you like you do with Sundown, and that's just not his role, and I don't want to bring attention to him like that, but I want to get excited over what the tweet was. It said, "I'm currently looking for someone to join the Fortnite community team at Epic Games. This contract role will be focused primarily on Fortnite competitive. Preferred qualifications, understands the Fortnite competitive scene, 4-year degree, and worked in esports/traditional sports. DMs open." Now, you guys went crazy. You started tagging a whole bunch of people, including me, which I appreciate, guys. I know you like my opinion on competitive, but this is just not a role I would be interested in. I've said multiple times, there's input that I have on the game, and I think things that would make it better, but at the end of the day, I don't always know what's best for the game. Some of the things that I've said I wanted, I got, and I was wrong, and I didn't want them. I do not want this role, but there's a lot of people who I think would be fantastic for it in the comments that did want it. We had people like Boop, we had people like Reese Hub getting mentioned a whole bunch. We had, and I'm so sorry I forget his name, the EU team was getting behind, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Chocoladen? He's in my stream all the time. He is an EU coach. He knows the game so incredibly well. There's just a lot of people who I think would be phenomenal for this role, whose names are being thrown around, and the fact that Epic wants to hire someone specifically for their team who's been part of the Fortnite scene and the Fortnite competitive scene to give input and direction is amazing. I am so excited for this. I know it says 4-year degree. Obviously, that is just preferred. If someone comes along who is fantastic for the role and doesn't have a 4-year degree, they can still get the job. A lot of people found that really strange. I don't know about America, but I know in Australia it's also illegal to put age requirements on your job requirements. So a lot of people say you need a 4-year degree because that would mean you're over the age of like 21 or 22 normally. There's a lot of reasons behind it. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it seems incredibly exciting, and it just shows that we are going in the right direction with Fortnite. I truly think right now we are heading back into the golden days. I don't think it could ever go back to the extreme excitement of, chapter 1. Everything was booming, everyone was playing, the game was just turning over billions of dollars, but I truly think Epic Games is going in the right direction, and I want to keep that narrative going because it's got me excited. Now remember, guys, FNCS is going on this weekend, so I'm going to be uploading a whole bunch of videos talking about that. Hopefully, if my kidney stays good, I'll be watching it all on stream, twitch.tv/AussieAntics. I'll be live for EU, NA East, maybe NA West qualifiers as well, but the uploads will be there, I promise. Unless I have some big issues, I will be fine to cover it all this weekend, so make sure you guys are staying tuned. Alright guys, that does it for another video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please chuck a like on it. Let me know in the comments section down below your thoughts on anything I talked about today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.